defensively against them?
I thought that early on I thought we did some good things. There was kind of a feel-out process to see what we were capable of doing. I mean, they're kind of a vaunted group, but I didn't think it took us too long. I think we were not really tentative, but just sort of feeling our way through the situation. Then I thought we started moving the ball quite well. I thought we left two obvious scores out there, 14 points, which would not be too tough to have. And then, so I think we did more good things than bad, but I thought that we could have, finished drives better. And then, of course, they're doing what they can to make it difficult. They're good at making it difficult, and we had others make it difficult too. I'm sure you guys saw the same game I did. And then some almost looked like they're trying to do an homage to aspects of the Pac-12. Yeah, so that's how I saw it offensively.
Coach, it seemed like Will actually may have had a little better ball placement game, but drops continue to kind of be an issue with you. I mean, how do you address that with Will, and how do you kind of keep him focused on all that?
I thought he got better. I thought the better he got at pushing the ball downfield, the better he threw it. I do think drops was an issue. I think that, in a few cases, and not across the board, a few cases, some receivers searching for the sideline rather than the field. And I do think we have to become tougher at that receiver position. Across the board, we have some skilled guys, we have some talented guys, but I think we need some tougher guys. And guys that just crave the ball. I mean, or that do the best they can to be polite about it, but aren't very good at being polite about it. The greatest receivers I've ever had are the ones that try to be polite about it, but you can tell they're merely trying to be polite about it because they shamelessly want the ball. They shamelessly want the ball every play. They're the guys who should have the ball. Somebody else shouldn't have the ball. They should have the ball. Who should you throw it to? Well, this guy's open, that guy's open, but at the bottom line, them, okay? And those are the kind of receivers you want. Right now we've got these, gentlemanly guys that they like to make plays and they got some skill and they do some good things, but, we want somebody that just in a very beastly fashion almost needs to have the ball, and we don't quite have that.
Mike, I was curious with their offense, kind of the ways that they use tight ends and utilize the guys they have there. Do you see anything from that you could maybe incorporate into the way you guys run your offense?
Well, not really. I mean, it goes, some of it, I could use the whole unit over there, as a matter of fact. I mean, every measurable that those guys have over there, we could use every one of them. I mean, I can't think of really any we can't use. The offense and the measurables go hand in hand a little bit. I did think we did a good job stopping the run for the most part. To win, they have to run the ball, and we stuffed the run for a period of time, and a significant portion too, stuffed the run, and then let them get off the hook on some big plays. Which was unfortunate, kind of playing with 8 instead of 11. But we did stop the run against them at significant times at time, and I thought that was pretty laudable by our group.
Coach, obviously, your development, your program is a little bit behind where Georgia's is, but what steps do you feel like this program needs to take to be competitive and win these kind of games in the years ahead?
Well, first of all, I think I think I'll ask every other team in the nation that's below them what their thoughts are, and maybe make a collective of ideas and select what I think are the best ones. Now you just keep doing what you're doing and doing it better is the short answer, you know.
Coach, early in the year, you mentioned when you guys were playing some of your best football, how your guys had responded from adversity. And I know you can't really talk about referee calls tonight, but it seemed like when things went bad against your defense or offense.
It could, it cost money, and somebody probably ought to at some point. Just right now, it's not gonna be me, but there are a lot of people that watch that game, so, you know, my faith rests with them. All right, go ahead.
Just your team trying to respond to that adversity when things don't go their way.
Well, you just have to, that's the thing, is you just gotta be focused on the next play. I mean, you know, positive or negative adversity, it doesn't excuse it, but, you know, you just have to stay focused and move forward. That's really all you've got.
Besides the obvious talent, what makes Georgia so tough to run the ball against, particularly in short yardage situations?
Well, I think there's definitely that aspect of it, and then the other thing is you know, they transition. You know, the one thing George has always done a pretty good job of is transitioning, and then once in a while you catch a guy that doesn't have low pads. They generally do. And not only do they transition, they're kind of because they're not just a come up field group, they're kind of, you know, I call it catch and read, but pull and yank would probably be more accurate. You know, they get in there and just get in the middle of your body and stalemate one guy, yank the other guy. And at least Kirby's team's always been pretty good at that.
I guess for you guys, how tough was it, you know, that stretch where, you know, Xavier has the punt return and then right out of the half, 2 plays, 75 yards for Georgia to kind of, you know, regain the momentum there?
Yeah, well, that wasn't good at all. As a matter of fact, you know, there were several issues with that play.
How'd you feel about your team's just preparation, playing the #1 team in the nation, and just their mentality going into this game?
I thought it was good. I thought our preparation was good. I thought mentality was good. You know, big plays was the biggest thing that haunted us. Some situational stuff on offense. I mean, there's easily 2 scores wrapped up there, and then there's easily 2 scores wrapped up in big plays, just like one play, big plays. You know, you get that, then, you know, we're in it or we win, you know.
Coach, you would say with Alabama, your team looked a little bit scared. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but at least tonight it looked like
We played Georgia better than we played Alabama. Yeah. No, I thought we played. Well, this year at least anyway, I thought Georgia presented a bigger challenge, and I thought we played Georgia better than we played Alabama. I thought our mentality was far better against Georgia.
I guess kind of entering the home stretch of the season here, you know, what's kind of the message to your team and the approach to East Tennessee State before obviously the Bowl coming up?
Well, we need to worry about ourselves, get better ourselves. You know, I think there's too much that you try to fight that, but everybody, the opponent this, the opponent that, the opponent the other thing, well, that's the matchup. That's you're going to tee it up against, but the most important thing each week is that you get incrementally better, and I think those guys in a productive fashion that can focus on themselves and improve themselves. They can focus on themselves, improve themselves, are the ones that do the best job. That's what we got to do. We got to worry about ourselves. Be a better player. No matter what position you play, if you're the best player on the team or the worst, that the other team's got a guy that's basically congruent to you. They have a best player, they have a worst player. they have a scout team flanker, they have a starting running back. You gotta be better than that guy in that role relative to his team, and you gotta and try to improve each week, you know, try to be the best at that each week. And I think people often get lost in that rather than competing with themselves and trying to be the best that they can be, because that's where the growth comes. I mean, you might be better than this guy, well, it's all right, fine, that's great, you already, but, you know, if you're not growing yourself, you're not getting anywhere. You know, you're just signed up.
All right, thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.